Hi everybody, it's Jenny from the Missouri Star Quilt Company, and I've got a super fun project for you. Let's take a look at this quilt behind me. We're calling this Diamond Dash because it's got these great little diamonds right here and a super cool sashing that runs right through the middle of it, giving it the dash. So to make this quilt, what you're going to need is one packet of 10-inch squares, and we used Karina by Amanda Murphy for Benartex, just a beautiful line. You're also going to need 1.5 yards for your sashing and 1 3/4 yards for this nice big 6-inch border that we've got out here. So let me show you how to do this. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up our packet of 10-inch squares, and I've got some already opened up right here. And we are going to cut these right in half, and so you can stack several of them. So I like to line them all up so that they're just stacked up real nice. Probably the max I would do is 4 unless you feel really comfortable with your rotary cutter. And some people do, and they can do that. It also depends on how sharp your blade is. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut these right in half. So at 5 inches, because they're 10-inch squares. And then you want to separate these piles. Just completely separate them because we're going to add a snowball block. We're going to snowball one corner, and we're going to add a 2.5-inch square to one corner on each of these blocks, but it's going to be on opposite sides. So you want to make sure that you have as many going this way as you have going that way so you can match them up and make blocks. So it's real easy to do this. You're going to cut 2.5-inch squares, and we're just going to put these all on the right corner. And so we can come right over here to the machine, and we can very easily and quickly machine piece these, chain piece them is what I'm trying to say. So we're going to go here. Now if you have trouble eyeballing this from corner to corner, you can press it in half and make the line. I've got a pretty good eyeball going on here. You can also finger press them while you're sitting there, just like a little diagonal line like this. You can also take a few minutes and draw the line if you'd like. I'm just going to finger press them and slide them through here and chain piece these. So let me start my next one. This is just such a great little quilt. I love these kind of quilts that go together easily and quickly. It makes, sometimes you want to work hard, but sometimes you need one that's fun and quick, and this is one of those for sure. And one more. There we go. Give me a little bit of guide there. All right. Once you get those done, and you can chain piece your whole stack like that, what you're going to want to do is you're just going to want to cut these apart and trim off that edge like this. You can do it with your scissors or a rotary cutter. Sometimes I just like to go for the scissors and go old school. You know, those of us who learned to quilt before rotary cutters, it was a bit of a thing to get used to for us. Now what we're doing here is we're just going to lay our piece on here, and we're just going to roll this back. It's going to keep that blue to the seam to the dark little corner, just like that. And you're going to do that to your whole stack. Then you're just going to stack these up and set them aside. Now we have to do the same thing to the other stack on the opposite corner. So you just want to, put them where you can see them. Make sure that you have opposite corners here, and which means we're going to sew this onto this piece now. I'm going to take a couple of these and finger press them right here before I get over there. And I have a little stack finger pressed, and I'll be able to cut these go right through. And remember, we're doing this corner. So now it's on the left corner. And we're going to do the same thing with chain piecing. So once you get them all pressed and ready to go, you're ready to assemble your block, which what we're going to do is we're going to mix these back up And you can take your 2 stacks over to the sewing machine, because what we're going to do is we're going to sew these together just like this. So we're going to match our diamonds and then sew the block together. Quick and easy. Let's do that. So here we go. What I like to do is just line up that block. Make sure you are at a 1/4 inch seam. And I like to line up the top and the bottom. And pretty much it's going to be easy sailing. Just right down the side. All right, so just like that, we've got these 4 blocks done. Of course, you're going to do it to your whole stack. And then we get to show you how to line out this quilt. So let's press these open. And what I like to do is press from the top first to make sure I don't have any pleats or folds in my seam. And then you can turn it over, and if your seam happens to be a little wonky, you can press it all to one side. It's really whatever you want to do that way. I just like to make sure, you know, having a pleat in your seam or a fold, that can change the whole size of your block, and we don't want to do that. So one more here, and we've got us a nice little stack. And I happen to have a bunch more done right here. So let me show you how we're going to lay this out. Now let's go back to the quilt back here and take a look. And you can see this first block right here, the diamond is at the bottom, and then at the top, and then at the bottom, and then at the top. So every other block we're just going to turn over. So let's start this row right here, and we're going to make one where it starts at the bottom, at the top, at the bottom, at the top. So just like this. And that's your first row. Now ours has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 across the top and 6 rows down. So then what you're going to do is you're going to take your sashing fabric and you're going to cut 2.5 inch strips. You're going to sew them together end to end, and then you're just going to put your sashing strips in between here like this. And then your next row, you're going to match up your diamonds. So this row is going to start where it's up like this. So that, see how the diamonds come together then? And then this one's going to go down because it will form a diamond on the next row. This one goes up like this, and this one goes down. So just as quick as that, as easy as that, you're going to have this darling little quilt. Now you're going to sash in between every row. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of sashing. Then you're just going to do an outer border, 2.5 inches all the way around. And then you'll add your 6-inch border in the end. And it just goes together so quickly and easily. Again, there are 7 in a row and 6 rows. So we hope you enjoyed this tutorial on the Diamond Dash quilt from the Missouri Star Quilt Company.